from our destination this afternoon. This means from time to time we'll be having some ash or embers blowing through the carriages. If you do feel the embers blowing on you, ladies and gentlemen, you can simply dust it off. It is, of course, a part of that steam locomotive experience.
That's great.
Now, speaking of experience, ladies and gentlemen, when we get to Cherry Tree Hill, our locomotive Jepper number 5 will sit on the top of a turntable at Cherry Tree Hill. After it's turned around, it will go up on adjacent railway to ours, and then it will be recoupled to the carriages. Now, this means, ladies and gentlemen, that those who are starting at the front will be at the back. Those who are starting at the back will be at the front. And of course, for those who are currently in the middle, ladies and gentlemen, you shall remain in the middle. I'm saying that to say this. The same carriage you go up in is the same carriage you shall return from Cherry Tree Hill down in, ladies and gentlemen. Well, of course, for those of you with the fluorescent green bands doing the train only, when you're coming down from Cherry Tree Hill, this will be your departure point. However, for those of you who are insisting, of course, in doing the Great House tour this afternoon, your stop will be the Croquet Lawn at St. Nicholas Abbey. You also get an opportunity as well, ladies and gentlemen, to see the view from the top of Cherry Tree Hill, 750 feet above sea level, ladies and gentlemen, looking across the entire eastern coast of Barbados. What would have been, back in its heyday, the railway, ladies and gentlemen, that ran from around 1881 to 1937. You have some vendors, ladies and gentlemen, as well. So you can purchase your arts and crafts, should you so desire, on the hill as well, ladies and gentlemen. Here's some history of the original railway. Take some pictures of the locomotive, should you so desire, then make our way right down here to our main station and Croquet Lawn, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and continue to enjoy the rest of your day here with us at St. Nicholas Abbey.
Sadie, where's Uncle Mikey? Sadie, where's Uncle Mikey? Is he driving the train? Is he driving the train? Is Uncle Mikey driving?
Why are you crying? Why are you crying?
You want to drive the train, Sadie? Ask the man if you could drive the train.
No.
You want to drive the train?
No.
You want to hold the train? You want to hold the train? Tired time.
Sit down here, bye.
Let's check the time. It's 2:30. It's early for winter.
We're gonna see the trees.
And
We're gonna see
monkeys.
the pond and the ducks. We're gonna see ducks.
Cherry tree is so
We're
beautiful.
gonna see the birds. We're gonna see
That's
the
great.
water.
So the train is now about to leave St. Nicholas Abbey. We're now about to go down Cherry Tree Hill. So I will keep silent for this one. Just sit back and relax and enjoy the ride with me.
See the train?
Because it doesn't make a circle. They have to use
The
the same
water
track.
and the boat in the bottom picture.
So they turn
So
this
they're
on.
going to go around and come back to here?
And then
No,
I
it's like one
see
way,
a
and then
tree,
they turn the train around
and I see.
because it comes back on the same set of tracks. They don't like to take
What
it.
else do we see?
Excuse me, what?
What else? All aboard! All aboard!
Here we go. Sadie, you holding on?
You holding on? Uncle Mikey's dragging it.
You can see him in the front. He's putting the logs, the bricks in. He's putting the wood in the edge.
There's a tractor. When we get off the train, you can go look at the tractor.
Never run wild for them.
And
She's sitting
there.
Uh-oh, Sadie.
You heard the whistle? The whistle, Sadie. Oh, here we go, Sadie. We're going on the train ride. Sadie, what's going on? Where are we? Bye. Say bye-bye to the ladies. Bye-bye.
carrying up, ladies and gentlemen, past the croquet lawn and right towards the locomotive, ladies and gentlemen. Flocks of birds, ladies and gentlemen. We of course have the common rooster, of course, and a much older, ladies and gentlemen, ancestor, the guinea fowl. And the guinea fowl is of course endemic to the continent of Africa. And the reason why they're running behind the locomotive, of course, is because we usually feed them bread and biscuits, etc. So they associate the trade with being fed. Looking to your right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our man-made lake. Stick sharks, tilapia, snapping turtles inside our lake, ladies and gentlemen. The lake is also set to more 1 million to 2 million gallons of water as well. So on the swimming side, ladies and gentlemen, we have some osprey eagles, some rattlesnakes or bowheads that swim in our lake from time to time. Now speaking of the osprey eagle, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen a couple of them come by our plantation from as well and feast here at our lake there. They usually stay in that very tall tree above there. So the Abbey, ladies and gentlemen, was first founded in the 1650s. The owner way back in 1650, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2. The owner was a man by the name of Colonel Benjamin Barringer. 2. Testing 1, 2. Now in 1661, ladies and gentlemen, 11 or so years after he took up ownership here, Barringer would be poisoned in Spikestown and he would pass away, ladies and gentlemen. Now the man who poisoned him was the owner of the adjacent plantation next door, John Yeoman, who coincidentally was also Barringer's very close friend and did. Testing 10 weeks later, ladies and gentlemen, Yeoman would marry Barringer's ex-wife. And in an attempt to take control of both plantations, however, ladies and gentlemen, he'd be thwarted by the Barringer family who barred him from having any say here at St. Nicholas Abbey. So they flee to the Carolinas. In 1663, he would actually be knighted, becoming Sir John Yeoman. By 1672, he was named one of Carolina's first governors, and by 1674, after grave illness, he too would pass away. The granddaughter of Barringer, having taken control of the plantation, changed the name of the plantation to St. Nicholas, ladies and gentlemen. The Abbey was added thereafter, and thus we have St. Nicholas Abbey. For those of you who've been to the Great House, of course, you probably would have heard some of that interesting history, ladies and gentlemen. For those who are going there, you're looking forward to some interesting history. So we're going our first neighbor left turn. I want you to look to your right at this time, and you're going to see a red potted plant with spikes. Seeds on the inside. That is known as the achote plant, ladies and gentlemen. Now the achote plant is, of course, not indigenous to this island. They were brought here. However, they are indigenous to Central America, ladies and gentlemen. And from the achote plant, we get the anapo powder that is used for cooking and, of course, taste painting. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, that road that you were seeing to your far right, that old road was used to transport sugarcane via the ox or donkey cart. That road is now used for maintaining our gully area. Making our way through our cuttings, ladies and gentlemen, one of many. On the inside of the cuttings, of course, you can see the brain coral on the inside, left and right. The brain coral harks back to Barbados' ecological past, and of course, thriving coral reef, ladies and gentlemen. And here's our gully, ladies and gentlemen. Royal palm trees at the top of our gully there. Staple of plantations in the West Indies. Usually when you find royal palm trees lining a road there, similarly to that, chances are if you look down the road, there's probably a great house nearby somewhere. Royal palm trees, of course, we have mahogany trees, that is, first planted here in the 1700s, ladies and gentlemen, and a ward for St. Michael. They were brought to Barbados from Jamaica in the 1700s. The oldest mahogany tree at our Abbey is 250 odd years old. We also have some Jacob's coat, some ginger lily flowers, the philodendron plant that you can actually see to your left, and so much more. Now, adjacent to the royal palm tree, of course, right there, ladies and gentlemen, on the other side of the railway, that road that you can see, that was the road that we used to transport sugarcane, of course, by the ox or donkey cart. We have to cut through it to build our railway. Of course, when the cane is taken to the mill and the etc., it'll be grinded, you'll get your sugar, your molasses, of course, your fancy molasses, and that final byproduct, aspartame syrup, that rum. The trash left over from that process was used as a fuel that we like to call mud gas here in Barbados. Now the reason why we don't use mud gas at the Abbey is for one main purpose. It's quite ashy when it's being burned, ladies and gentlemen. This particular cutting that we're making our way through is 30 feet deep from its highest point to its lowest. The original railway, ladies and gentlemen, had a cutting of maybe 1 mile long to 90 feet deep, and it was in the parish of St. Philip into the parish of St. John. That was called a concept bay or concept cutting, if you will. Exiting these cut rocks now, ladies and gentlemen, quarries, major quarry to your left, shallow quarry to your right. The cut rock from the major quarry was used to build a lot of the buildings you have here at St. Nicholas Abbey. We plan to turn it into an amphitheater in the future, where we host lectures, weddings, functions, and so much more. We also plan to build a bridge over Mahogany Avenue. The Mahogany Avenue is to your right, ladies and gentlemen. It's the road that takes you to Cherry Tree Hill. We plan to build Mahogany Avenue in the future. Add 2 kilometers of track to the existing track, going in that direction to Farley Hill. We also plan to build some eco-lodges along the route as well, ladies and gentlemen. That's the future, back to the past. 81 to 1937. 24 miles, 98 bridges, 10 train stations, ladies and gentlemen. The Barbados Railway. Now, built 98 bridges, ladies and gentlemen, only one bridge has been rebuilt to its former glory. That is the bridge at Jones River, and the Trailway Project Barbados did all of that. Now, the train stations were as follows: Fairchild Street in Bridgetown, then Rouen in St. George, Buckley also in St. George, but the tip of St. Philip, ladies and gentlemen, that will be Windsor. Then you have Sunbury, Carrington, and Bushy Park, and 3 houses, of course, in St. Philip. Then in St. John you had Bath, in St. Joseph you had Bathsheba, and of course in St. Andrew you had Bell Lane. And those were the 10 train stations. And the only train station that is currently left standing, ladies and gentlemen, and almost as original, guys, is the one in Bathsheba. However, that's a shop, ladies and gentlemen, that you could go and purchase any foods, etc. Now we come to a stop in Cherry Tree Hill, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the parish of St. Andrew, and welcome to Cherry Tree Hill. What we will do at this time, ladies and gentlemen, is apply the handbrakes to the front of the frontmost carriage, to the rear of the rearmost carriages. After that, ladies and gentlemen, our locomotive will be pushed around on the turntable. I forgot to mention, ladies and gentlemen, any 5 of you, give or take, who want to assist in pushing the locomotive around the turntable,
You can push it, Papa.
you can go and you can assist us, ladies and gentlemen, after we've opened the carriage doors.
Push it, they rotate.
Do you want to push the train? We're not stuck. We stopped. We're going to get
We're
off
gonna get
the
off.
train.
You're gonna get off and
We'll
walk around.
walk around and come back on the train. And we'll see on Mikey now.
Patrick will go to front. If you do that, set it on.
You go see Uncle Mikey now.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Get back, Patrick, get back.
You know, free to disembark the carriages, ladies and gentlemen.